Hello and welcome to another edition of Enoki Halusa, and well, basically the questions that you guys asked me about a week ago. So, I was originally what I was going to do is going to make a track and just put your comments up with my answers underneath, but I decided to just record myself reading the questions and giving you my answers verbally. It's so much easier. Okay, so without further ado, let's get it on. Hey, how you going, guys? Okay, so let's start from the beginning and go to the end. So first off, David Provan, David Provan, I think that's how you say that. He asks, what's been your favourite moment in the Super so far? Been a big fan of your music for years. Now keep up the good work. Okay, so I would say that my favourite moment in Super so far would probably be in the Black Arc, because that seems to be the best arc in the whole series so far, where Trunks that powers up and does the Super Saiyan Rage. I really like that moment. The whole build up to it and everything, the music, such an epic moment. Okay, Margin Blue, my good friend, asks, okay, firstly, how are you? I am fine. Second, do you make a Gogeta SSJ4 track, please? That's a request, so as I said in my last video, or this video that the comments are on, that's not a question, that's a request. But I had thought about doing something for Gogeta in the past, so maybe not SSJ4, maybe SS Blue or something, you know, or even SS God, who knows. Anyway, third question. Time when you actually produce music? Anytime really. I usually do it after my daytime job. So for example, if I finish at 4:30, I'll get back. I usually start making music about say 5, 5:30 or something like that, and it takes me into the evening. Otherwise, if I finish it like, you know, late, then I'll just do it when I get back. But there's no particular time. I just, as soon as I get inspiration, I start writing things down and producing tracks basically straight away. Fourth question. Do you forgive me for question 2? What was question 2? Second question. Oh yeah, of course. That's fine. Sure. Yeah, no problems. Okay, so Ruby Jumper. Ruby. Who is your favourite DBZ character and why? My favourite DBZ character is Future Trunks. Not the blue-haired one with the red scarf. Over emo guy. I'm talking about pink-haired guy, turns up mysterious, chops Freezer into pieces, and then blasts him into atoms. That guy. He's my favourite. The attitude, the look on his face, everything. The way he animated him, you know, even in the non-canon movies as well. I even thought it was awesome in that. He's got so much of that sort of Vegeta look in him that I like. But the only thing I did maybe disliked about it is that it was like, you know, a bit needy for daddy's love, if you know what I mean. But, you know, he didn't know his father, so he was desperate to impress him. But anyway, going on. Mystic Strike Force SSJ3. Is Dragon Ball a huge part of your life? Like how mine was, especially on the side with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and the first generation of Beyblade? Or is there other anime that gives you the push? Mostly Dragon Ball, because it was one of the first animes I ever watched. I started watching it when I was about 12 or 13, I can't really remember. That would have been 92 or 93 when it first came to Western TV. And I first watched that, and yeah, because I went on to seeing other animes like Naruto and Bleach, and what's it called? Fate. I think it was called Fate Night or something like that. And of course, My Hero Academia, which is brilliant, by the way. It's absolutely awesome. But one of the first things that got me into anime was this movie. If you can see it very well. There we go. It's a bit of a shine. Akira. I love this movie. It's still sealed. I mean, I love this. This is a prized possession of mine. It's one of my most favourite of all animes. I mean, that's an old movie. I mean, it came out in 1983, 94, 84, sorry, I think. So it's so old, but it's so good. And I just read this on the bag. It's based 2019, so we've got 2 years to go until this shit starts going down. But yeah, one of my most favourites. But yeah, Dragon Ball does play a huge part due to the fact that it was one of the first animes I ever watched. Okay, wrestling scholar Burncastle. Is that right? Years ago, before your first channel was shut down, you made a dope remix of Decepticons theme. Any chance you'll be able to re-upload that track? Well, I was thinking about re-uploading it, but then I decided I would remake it. So I'm just going to remake the track and put that up. I have started it, but I haven't done anything with it yet. But I will upload it at some point, once I've finished it, of course. Okay, so SSJ4 guy says, fantastic tune again. Thank you very much, dude. Kage Ryu, question: is Dragon Ball the only anime that you're interested in doing music about? I'd love to hear you compose stuff for Yu Yu Hakusho show. I always say it wrong. Or Cowboy Bebop. And one more question: what inspires you to compose music for? Oh, Cowboy Bebop's another one I used to watch, by the way. That's where I got the name Jet Black. Well, that, and that's also one of my favourite colours, aside from red. Let's see, what inspires you to compose music for relating to subjects like, let's say, for example, number 17 versus Rian? Well, just think about the characters, I think about their attitudes and their personalities, and then I think about the scene itself, the intensity or the sorrow or whatever the subject might be. And then I build a tune from that, basically. I just think of, like, for example, when I did the Gohan track, I tried to think of something heroic. Because, like, obviously, you know, Gohan is Saiyaman and Goku is just generally a hero anyway. So heroic would have been the right step, I think. Or with like Gohan's grief, where you know, him having so much compassion for human life or any kind of life really, and feelings, and hates fighting and all that kind of stuff, but does it as a necessity. You know, after, if you don't want to be spoiled, I'm just warning you now, just in case you don't know. Gohan destroys Universe 10, and obviously he's gonna feel bad. So I tried to make that tune sound really emotional and sad, and that's why I chose the sort of classical synthwave style for that track. So yeah, that's how I usually base those tracks, or how I come up with ideas for tracks. Orak, another one of my boys. Okay, here are my questions. 1, what are your hobbies in general? Making music and drinking? If that's a hobby? No, music is really my only hobby, to be honest. I don't really have that many hobbies. I don't collect stamps, I don't train spot, I don't, you know, yeah, that's it. I don't bird watch, I don't fish. It's just music, really. Music, mate. Well, I play computer games as well, you know. One of my hobbies, I suppose, is finding half-decent free MMOs and then playing the hell out of them until I'm bored of them, and then I try another one, sort of thing. I just go from one to one to one, sort of thing. Okay. 2, how do you feel about OCS? I'm not sure what OCS is. I need to type that in. Hang on one sec. What OCS? What's OCS? OCS. That's probably not what you're on about. I don't know what OCS is. OCS. I'm gonna have to pass on that one, dude. I don't know what OCS is. Number 3, do you have any thoughts for the future of the channel, like adding more varied content to it? Or do you want to stick with just music? Oh, sorry, with music. Oh my god. I'm reading it all wrong, I haven't got my glasses on. Music majority? It's not even a real word. The majority of my material is going to be music, because that's what I specialise in. It's the thing that I like the most. I'm not very good at doing reviews, or theories and fun facts like that, but I like to have a go. So I've been experimenting with those and just having a bit of fun with them. Obviously that's where the varied part comes in. I would do, like, you know, game review type things, but I don't think anyone would be interested in that. But no, mainly it's going to be music, and thrown in with the odd stupid, you know, slapstick humour on reviews where I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Just like now, really. Okay, so Amin Bandarkar. Hang on. Bandikar. Bandikar, is that how you say your name? Armin Bandikar? Could you please remix Final Showdown theme from DBS? Okay, that's a request, not a question. Well, it is a question, but it's not specific. I mean, I've put in my video that if you're going to ask me a request, send me an email or private message me or something like that, because I'm not going to be reading requests all the way down. If you want to find out who I am, you don't need to ask me a request, because you know that I will probably get back to you at some point anyway. I know a few people have emailed me already, and I am sorry I haven't got back to you yet, but I have had a lot of things going on, so I will get round to it, don't you worry. So yes, I'll keep that in mind. Gabriel GRZG Gurzg. Gabriel Gurzg. With which super attack you described the victory of Trump in American election? Ha ha ha. Okay, well, I have one for this one. You know that move that Super Boo does, but after he's just turned everyone into candy, on the lookout, and then he puts his hand up in the air, like, let's see if I can get it, like, oh, I'm too far away, you know, but you get the idea. He puts his hand up and he goes, ah, like that, and fires all those pink beams down to everybody on Earth, just, like, obliterates everyone, basically. I think it's called Ill Rain. Well, I think it's called Ill Rain in Xenoverse, anyway. That move, that's the move I would say that Trump used to win the American election, because as soon as he got in there, he started, you know, spamming that attack left, right and centre. Yeah, that's what I would say. Now, GTO Productions. So, listening to your music is awesome. I listen to it in the background while doing other things all the time. I have an OC original character. An OC character? I have an original character in Xenoverse, and that's a bit like DC, isn't it? DC Comics, Detective Comics. I'm only joking, dude. I do it all the time as well. In Xenoverse, and I wanted to make a theme song for her. I have no idea how to create music. How did you start? What do I need? Where do you get your inspiration from? How long does it usually take for one track? Sorry for the many questions. Keep up the awesome work. That's quite a lot of questions, actually. But I'll tell you what. what I'll do is I'll break it down this way. When I started making music, I was about 12 years old, and what I was doing, I was learning orchestral, analog instruments. You know, like ones you have to use your hands for. Started learning to play piano, drums, guitar, bass guitar. I'm not very good at guitar, by the way, but bass guitar I'm better at. Double bass as well. You know, I can play that with a bow. And then after that, after I started writing my own music, I went into computerized music. Started using Dance DJ, things like that. You know, Rave EJ, just for laughs. That's the program where you grab the riffs and you put them on the score, like Lego blocks, basically, and you just build up a tune that way. And then they brought out on the PlayStation one of my most favourite of all gems going, and I don't know if I've got the original. I don't think I have. Oh yes, no I haven't. No wait. No I haven't. Music. It was called Music by Jester Interactive, and I don't have it. It sucks. But I do have Music 2000. Which is one of my original discs. There we go, Music 2000. I had that on the PlayStation. Such an easy program to use. In America, I believe it was called Music Generation or Music Generator or something like that. And then they made the second one, Music 3000 or Music Generator 2 or something like that. And after that, I used this program, which is Music 2002 by the same company, Jester, but they also have Slinky. There we are, Slinky incorporated. There we go. Yeah, so that was a half decent program to use. Although it crashes a lot. That's the only problem with those programs. They crash a lot because they're games, really. They're not really. I mean, you can use them like a program, but they are pretty much just games. This one, Music Generator, Music Studio Generation. Oh, I don't know. It's not a very good program. It's good for fun. It's more of a MIDI-making program, really, that one. I mean, what I'll use at the moment is Reason 5.0. You know, there's Appleton, which is really difficult. I think Enigma TNG uses that. That's why you get such a crisp studio sound, because it's a really excellent tool. I use, obviously, Fusion. Reason 4.0, 5.0. I used to use 4.0 and then I upgraded. They've got a 9.5 now, and I can't afford it. It's like 600 quid or something, I don't know. And Fruity Loops, which is another good one that a lot of people use. I think Margin Blue, I almost said Margin Blue. Margin Blue uses that program, so that's a pretty decent program to use as well. But really, how I learned to make music is just by listening to various different genres. I listened to a lot of music. Just in the early days, I was just making covers, basically, just covers of other tracks, you know, other songs that are already out, just so I could learn the theory behind how, you know, the structure of tunes go together, where the bass goes, you know, what polys to bring in, you know, how to structure strings and things like that. Let's see, where do you get your inspiration from? Again, from different genres of music, because I listen to so much. If I like the sound of something, I'll listen to it until I'm bored to death of it, and then it's embedded in my mind, and then when I'm making a track, I'll take some inspiration from something that I've heard, sort of thing. You know, I won't copy straight out. Some things are based on other tracks, but a lot of the stuff is like original. Which is also, you know, inspired by other things, as everyone does. And how long does it usually take for one track? Well, it could take between 1 hour, if I'm on the ball, or it could take up to, well, some stuff I haven't even finished yet, and I've been working on it for 3 years. So it all depends, really. I mean, a lot of my stuff I get out quite quickly. I try and do it in, like, you know, a minimal amount of time. When I'm making my Dragon Ball Super stuff, Dragon Dimension Super rather, I get that stuff out probably, I don't know, between 1 and 3 hours if I've got it in my mind. So yeah, it doesn't take long, but a lot of practice and a lot of mucking about, and you can do anything basically. So yeah, go for it. Liquid Fury 123 star to dar. I don't know what that means. My question is, who is your favorite DBS character? There's a lot of good DBS characters. I mean, like, you've got Krillin, who's coming out of the show a bit more. Gohan is actually becoming more epic again now. Tien, no. I don't like the way they've done Tien in DBS. I think they've done him slightly wrong, but, you know, I'm sure that's an argument for another day. Vegeta is probably my most favourite at the moment because of his character progression. Like, you know, how he's become a bit more humble, I suppose. He obviously is still a rival of Goku's, and he'll fight him or chase him until the end of the world, sort of thing, or the end of time. But he's not hell bent on killing him now. He's not evil. He's not, you know, self-centered completely. He actually cares about his family, cares about the Earth, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, like, the way he's gone from being a complete shit basically to you know, family man. It's just it's a great progression. He's become one of my favourite characters, and I know that actually he wasn't one of he was Akira Toriyama's most least favourite character, funnily enough. So yeah, probably that or Piccolo. I mean, I like Piccolo, but I think they played him a bit shit towards at the beginning of the show, but towards the end he's getting better. Okay, so what's next? The Exaggerator. How do you explain the awesomeness that is you, Halusa? Well, Mr. Exaggerator, I would say that you would have to explain the awesomeness that is me, because I don't think I'm awesome. Thank you very much for the comment, though. I just think I'm a regular, easygoing, you know, music-making, freak, cool dude with a weird face. But if you think that the stuff I make is pretty cool, then yeah, I suppose you would have to be the one that explains it. Okay, so going on, Anthony13245